If you've been paying attention to my Twitter account, you'd know that I recently made a short film. My debut, in fact. Yes, instead of sitting down during lockdown and blasting through the 7th viewing of The Office or powering through The Last of Us Part 2, I went out there and made a frickin' movie. Wild scenes. But more on this film in a little bit. For now, I want to talk about Damien Chazelle's Whiplash. But not the Whiplash you're thinking of. Damien Chazelle is one of my favorite working filmmakers. Time and time again, he knocks it out of the frickin' park. And on most occasions, it doesn't even feel like he's really trying. Considering my love for the director, as inspiration to actually go make a short film myself, I went back and watched Chazelle's 2013 short, Whiplash. Yes, in case you were not aware, Whiplash began its life in cinema as a short film that went on to debut at Sundance. My expectations before I sat down and watched the short Whiplash were astronomically high. I expected a short film that looked and sounded professional, as that's what I associate with Chazelle's films, being professional. I expected to see a movie that was bursting at the seams, and so obviously needed to be made into a feature film. If I'm going to be honest with you, I just expected the actual Whiplash, just shorter and a little bit cheaper. Suffice to say, I was not expecting an amateur's movie. And then I watched 2013's Whiplash, and my world was, to quote the Fresh Prince himself,
bad marriage for life.
My world was flipped, turned upside down. Chazelle's short version of Whiplash is, in my eyes, essential viewing for the aspiring filmmaker. Here we have an 18-minute film that is good, but not as good as one would expect when you think of who Damien Chazelle is. I mean, of course, the groundwork is there. The writing is sharp, the filmmaking style is showing signs of going full Chazelle, and the music is still a B.O.P. bop. However, it's not the Whiplash we all know and love. It's a different kind of Whiplash. When I was watching the short version of Whiplash, I found myself taking mental notes of the shots, lines, and overall tone that was being presented, and comparing all of this to the feature film adaptation made just a year later. What I found with the 2013 version is something rather simple. You can tell that Chazelle has a grand vision and scope in his head, but the equipment he has at his disposal cannot match up to that. So instead of crafting a rushed or half-assed version of Whiplash, Chazelle just focuses on the most vital and consistent element of Whiplash, the relationship between Andrew and Fletcher. I find this short film so inspiring because it reminds me of what is important when it comes to telling a shorter narrative. Of course, when we make a short film, we all want a $3.3 million budget, a variety of locations, and fucking J.K. Simmons. But for most people, that's not going to be the case. When we make a short film, we normally have absolutely nothing at our disposal. Hell, I know I had nothing. My film cost $200. And sure, while Chazelle has that added bonus of having J.K. Simmons in his short film, the point still stands. He knows what is the most important part of Whiplash, and he highlights that in this short film. The short film version of Whiplash is essentially just one scene, and it's a pretty great scene to focus your entire movie around. In the 2013 Whiplash, Chazelle focuses the movie around the famous "Are you rushing or are you dragging" scene. If you think about Whiplash as a whole, this scene is quintessential to what Chazelle wants to say regarding success and the demons that come with it. The scene shows how wild and intense Fletcher is, but it also shows how driven and terrified Andrew is. It is a perfect scene because it literally establishes everything Chazelle wants to show in the feature film, albeit with a bit more time and money. That great idea that I'm referring to in the thumbnail and title of this video is right fucking here. Chazelle's great idea regarding Whiplash isn't the money or locations, it's the relationship between Fletcher and Andrew. And it remains the same in the short as it does in the feature. This is what Chazelle is attempting to show investors and producers with his short film. He wants them to see the potential of this on-screen pairing, and to be honest with you, it completely works. Chazelle's not focused on like, oh, does this shot look cinematic enough? He doesn't fucking care. All he wants to do is show what he can do with what he has. And that is a great freaking message for anyone out there.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference.
Watching Chazelle's film before I made my own was actually a blessing in disguise. Instead of crafting a film that's too complicated, Whiplash taught me to narrow it down. In a dumb way, it made me think about what was really important. What did I want the audience to really take away? Speaking of my film, which is titled The Traveller, it was recently accepted into the Liftoff Sessions, which is an online film festival known to be a stomping ground for aspiring and talented filmmakers. My movie is actually screening as part of their online film festival on-demand service, which debuts on Vimeo on July 19, which is a very short time away. It's in a few days, actually. So as you can see, I'm a little nervous, but I'm very, very excited. Basically, in a short way, the film that gets the most votes from the online version goes into the in-person film festival, which is set to be held next year at Pinewood Studios in the UK. So there are producers, investors, and all that sort of shit there, so it's a huge freaking deal. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I mean absolute, if you guys were to watch the film on Vimeo on demand on July 19. Hit the link that's below to take you to the Liftoff Sessions Vimeo page, and they will explain everything from there. Basically, you just have to sign up and you can view the films and vote below. That's what I'm told. But I mean, this is a message for anyone who's struggling with making a short film, and I just really want to say this. It's a lot easier than you think it is. Take whatever idea you have and make it as simple and crisp as possible. I know that can sound hard, but really, if you think about it, what makes a great idea? Well, Whiplash proves that. It's that relationship between Andrew and Fletcher. It doesn't need to be overly complicated or grand. It could literally be just one scene. What I learned from Chazelle's Whiplash and making my own short film is that if you have an idea that connects with you, it most likely will connect with other people. It's really not as hard as you think it is. And I say that as someone that thought it was terrifying before I started. But I sat down, I did it, and it's the most satisfying feeling in the world to actually have made something and to see people really enjoying it. So I will let you guys know when the film can premiere here on YouTube, because it definitely will. But regarding, I've put it into other festivals, so I can't do a premiere screening here until all the festivals have either rejected it or accepted it. So thank you very much for watching this week's video, and I will see you guys very soon. And please look out for my tweets, my YouTube posts here regarding the Liftoff Sessions on July 19. And please watch The Traveller, vote for The Traveller, hashtag The Traveller. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get this film into fucking Pinewood Studios next year. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.